Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you today is how I create YouTube videos extremely quickly by using the power of OBS. Stay tuned. I'm going to share with you this tip and trick. All right, so a lot of people that create YouTube videos, typically they use kind of like a DSLR camera, which right now I am using, but then what they have to do is take that video, go ahead, take it, use it in post-production, edit it maybe in Resolve, Premiere Pro, or After Effects. So they add a lot of other special things to it. It could be even iMovie and all the Mac software for editing, Final Cut Pro. So there's a lot of tools that you need to do from the editing side. For me, I go ahead and use OBS Studio to record my items. Now you could go ahead and use some other things like Wirecast is also good. There's XSplit, Streamlabs, OBS. There's a lot of programs out there. Just take your pick, whichever one you want to use is usually fine. They have some pros and cons. I use kind of a good foundation for OBS. I find it works just fine, just well, because I'm recording to the computer, or I can use it for streaming, and then I can very much customize it as needed. Whereas some of those other ones, a little bit more tricky because you're starting to add bells and whistles, a little more tricky to customize, which OBS is more open source and makes it more friendly. So the way that I do this is I'm going to show you here. Let's go to the screen, and actually we're going to go to here, this screen. And as I look at this screen, you're going to see kind of a huge effect. So I'll go ahead and start my recorder on a different recorder here, and we'll actually have to do a quick little edit. So what I have here is basically a couple of different scenes set up. So as I have these scenes, I've got an intro face. So as I go into this intro face, what it does is it brings up like a little introduction to my name, boom. And that's a little clip that's just basically a name that just pops up, and it pops up automatically. Then I have kind of like this face scene where I can hop to the face by using my Stream Deck. By the way, if you don't know what a Stream Deck is, I will show you here. I will show you on my other overhead cam, which I could hop on over and go right here. This is what a Stream Deck is. So if I push any of these buttons, it'll hop on over and jump and do these kinds of things. So maybe it'll stop the recording, jump to these different areas. So here I went ahead, you could hit the corner. That's kind of where we're at. If I want to hit the face, we'll go back to the face and you'll see, boom, there I am. Go back to the corner or overhead top. So that was overhead top, corner, back, overhead top, face. So anyways, I have these different setups. I also have some other things for when I do screens on kind of 3D, paper overhead, the glass, and some outros. And here what I'm doing is I'm also looking at, here's the different names. I might go ahead and here's my Backstage income name that'll pop up. Boom, there's the little animation. I have different animations for, let's say if I'm recording a course for trading, this will be my Rise to Learn. You can see already I'm buffering a bit on these. I have those intros, face circles, that's up the lower right. Face split when it's kind of half and half. My stingers that you saw kind of at the beginning, boom, there it is, pops up. There's kind of that stinger. Logos and some outros. So you can see the outros here that I have set up as well, that these headings, what they do is they actually rotate. So that way I get different, it's just like a slideshow. So periodically, let me go ahead and increase this slideshow. This is the subscribe one. So I went from, let's go to 500. So you can see now, look how fast this is rotating. So that way you get a variation on your videos and you get a little bit of variety. So I'll put that back. So as I'm recording a second one, a third one, it's a different one. Same thing with these freebies. There's different freebies that get rotated, more videos, the same thing over here. We have the base template set up, but that kind of rotates. And as it rotates, it creates like a little different headings, a little different freebie offer. So that way it hits some people a little more than others. So that's the way I do these recordings. I think it's faster. I don't have to script the videos. Since I don't script the videos, I don't have to do a lot of editing and post-production, with the exception of maybe this video a little bit. But most of the time, once it's good to go and once I hit that record button right here, everything else is controlled through OBS, and I just use that control deck, Stream Deck. I'll put that link in the description. I hit the record button, it's good to go. I move through my scenes, I talk about my content, my topic, and it saves me a lot of time. Of course, you could go ahead and you could script the videos. If you're new, if you're not used to being in front of the camera, it takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of practice. If you're worried about mess ups, I'm not really worried about messing up. Life has a ton of mess ups. So if I mess up, fine, then somebody can deal with that 1 or 2 seconds that I mess up on. And then I flip through my scenes as needed to go through my content to either explain a how-to video, to do a sales video. And then once I'm done, I go to the outro, talk about my sign out, and then stop the recording. And that's basically the way that I use OBS. That's the power of it. That's how I have my setup. That's how I have my kind of scenes over here. And you could set up as many scenes as you want. I do have other things here when I'm looking at different ways of broadcasting. So if I go into my scene collection, I have a master recorder. I use a backup sometimes to pull some things. And then as I do some courses, I'll put some of those things created into different scenes. My live stream as well is a little different because there's different types of pop-ups. So you don't want to overcrowd your profile in OBS. So when it's completely different, I will create a little bit of a different profile. But other than that, that's the way that I go about creating my YouTube videos. It's a lot faster because now the video is going directly into the computer using an HDMI cable and kind of a video capture card, rather than me taking out a card and extracting it from the camera and then slapping it back in and extracting the videos to the hard drive, then editing it. All of this is controlled, including a lot of these pop-ups. So as these pop-ups, as you're probably watching, let me go ahead and put a few more up on here. I go ahead and you're probably wondering, I go ahead and you see, remember to subscribe, get these pop-ups out there because I have this embed, and this is the different pop-ups. So what it does is activate these pop-ups at certain times. So I might go ahead and put a pop-up for a thumbs up, and there's kind of a thumbs up pop-up that'll come up. And these are actually browsers. So I have kind of a local CSS animation there. I don't use video clips for these, and it just animates it down with some JavaScript and CSS animations, and boom, that's it. That's the way that those work. I have little video clips for other things I do for stock trading. For when, let's say, a stock is neutral or bullish. I don't know if it's coming up right now or not. Probably not. But anyways, that's really the way I do it, is I go ahead and put the assets in there. So as I'm working through it, I control it through the Stream Deck. I've got a few buttons to push. I run through the scenes. Those are my scenes. Those are my setups. And once I'm ready to kind of sign out, I go to the outro. And that's it. So hopefully you got a lot out of this video to give you some insights on how I go about creating these structures for my videos, film it with OBS, because it's really powerful. And if you can go directly into the computer, you can save a lot of time. And that way you don't have to take your YouTube videos, take them into your computer, edit them, extract them, and so on. Of course, if you're doing a vlog type video, that's a whole different ballgame. You kind of have to because you're out in the real world. You're not going to be running around with a laptop. So if you're vlogging, if you're out doing B-roll footage, that's fine. Maybe your videos are 20 times better than mine. But if I'm doing how-to videos, I think it's okay to be near the screen or at screen, because a lot of the things that I do is actually educational things. They're more on screen, especially for filming courses and those kinds of things. It's way more powerful for me and faster. Anyways, it's probably a little more choppy now because I'm doing multiple recordings. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Get some of those freebies by clicking the link over here, or go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel right here if you're brand new. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.